Alright guys, I got this radio here. My friend gave it to me. And I cannot remember exactly what the problem was, but the guy he got it from only operated on 11 meters. And he used it on sideband. And I guess it just like quit working on that band. And I opened it up and did a bunch of stuff and cleaned the relays on the bandpass filter for the 12 through whatever. And I think that's all that was really wrong with it. So I have another one over here that I got from a local guy for pretty cheap, and he said it has something wrong with it, and it came with the tuner. This one here loses lower sideband. You're just listening to it, and all of a sudden it just fades out. Sometimes you can smack it and it'll come back. And I've done a lot of poking around in the radio and checked the boards and pulled a bunch of the boards and looked for cold solder joints, checked the header pins and stuff like that. I couldn't find anything. So it's got an intermittent problem, and I just can't do anything with it. Can't sell it to anybody. And I hate to get rid of it because I don't think anybody's going to fix it. And I'm sure I could fix it if I really screwed around with it. It's got the voice board in it, but it's got the PyX one, so it's got a male voice one. What else does it have? It's got a couple of extra things in it. And then I ordered the PyX memory board because these things have volatile RAM. And with the volatile RAM, what happens is if the battery inside of there dies, all the band stuff for the radio is just gone, and the radio won't turn on, won't do anything. Basically, that board controls the synthesizer and everything. It's a really, really horrible design. Really terrible. So they came out with a 761, which is basically a 751 without the volatile RAM, with a built-in power supply, with the built-in tuner. It's the same radio, basically. And then they came out with a 765, which is the same radio with a couple of different changes in the filters and an extra digit on the display. So I'm trying to decide what to do with these radios. I don't know that anybody's going to be like super crazy about this radio. It's not like it's the 781 or something like that. But I mean, I got two of them. And you put the two together, you probably have a pretty good radio. Now, I don't know if this one's cured or not. But I know there's nothing wrong with the bandpass filter board on the other one. And I'm sure that you could just swap parts, but I don't know, man. I hate to do that. So you should have seen how much these radios cost when they were new. They were like $2,300. I've got the original receipt for this one. I got this one from the original owner. So I've got the invoice from like 1989 from that radio. And it's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with it. I got that one there. This one's in better shape too. This one's kind of scratched up and stuff. You can see it's like pretty worn. I don't know what they did with it, but he gave it to his brother for a while, who's, I guess, like legally blind or whatever, and that's why it has the voice board in it. So when you turn it on, it says power on, and it tells you everything. So it's got the voice synthesizer. Being blind and operating a radio is a pretty major challenge, if you think about it. I mean, just try and imagine for a second how hard that would be. Like, yeah, you might be able to get the radio figured out, but how are you going to tune your tuner? You can't see the meter. It's not going to tell you what the SWR is. So, you don't really have any idea. You'd be like a blind person operating a tube radio. You know? It'd be pretty hard to do. I mean, you'd have to adjust the tubes to peak the load and plate. Like, you can't do that without seeing, really. I mean, I don't know how you would do it. So, it's crazy when I think about that some blind guy operated this radio. It's like, wow, that's a lot of work. And it means the radio must be pretty rugged because he didn't blow it up. If you have a resonant antenna for, like say you have a Hustler 5B TV, and it's resonant on 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80, which it will not be on 80, but let's just say it is. Then you could just use those bands. The Hustler is very narrow on 80, but it'll cover the rest of the bands, 10 through 40. You won't get 12, you won't get 17. Yeah, you can do the add-on kit, but I don't know how broadband it is. So it's just crazy. It's like blind. Wow. We have to be grateful, I think, when you think about it. Because here's this guy that was using this radio, and he's blind. How did he pass his test? How did he take his test? It's like, damn. He had to do the test in Braille or something. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. A verbal test. Well, he couldn't memorize the questions because he can't get on there and look at it. You actually have to know the test. It's pretty crazy. So, there's a few blind hams that we know. Some of them weren't blind when they got their license, and some of them I think were, but the only one that comes to mind is the Joey guy on the East Coast on DMR. He's on there a lot. And there was a guy that I used to hear named Travis on 2 meters in Phoenix. And he said he was blind, or mostly blind, like he could see light and colors and stuff, but not be able to tell what he was seeing. So, anyway, I thought I would just discuss the 751. I wrote it out here because I was thinking about swapping some stuff around. I'm like, really, I don't think so. It'd be nice if I could just like make a package deal and get rid of the damn thing. It's a cool radio. I spent $100 on the PyX board, so I'm not going to get my money back out of that, but at least with that, you don't have to worry about the radio becoming a doorstep. I had one of these 751 originals. It was like my second ham radio, and so I had fond memories of the 751 that I got rid of. And so I got this one from Alan, and it worked fine for a while, and then it quit working. And I put it on the shelf, and then my friend Rick was like, dude, I got this guy, he like has these broken radios, and he wants me to give them to somebody. So I ended up with that one. And as far as I know, that one seems to work fine. Original box and everything. They had taped the living hell out of the box, but so that's how I ended up with 2 751As. I think the filters are probably worth more than the radios.